One of the biggest challenges on the MCAT isn't just memorizing equations, it's actually applying them in the context of the tricky passages. And this becomes most obvious when you are staring at a massive data table full of numbers, wondering how in the world it connects back to the concepts. In this video, I'm going to walk you through a proven strategy for linking those data tables to the equations on the MCAT. By the end, you will know exactly how to tackle these passages without wasting time, without panicking, and without drowning in numbers. First step is to identify the variables. Don't dive straight into the numbers right away. That's one of the biggest mistakes students make. Instead, start by asking, what are the variables in this table? Which one is being manipulated? Which one's being measured? What is the outcome? For example, if you see substrate concentration and reaction rate, you know you're looking at an independent variable, the concentration, versus dependent variable, the rate relationship. This instantly sets you up to connect back to an equation like your rate laws. That takes us to step 2. Remember the equation that connects the variables. Ask yourself, what equation usually describes this type of relationship? For example, in this case, you might think in Gen Chem, the rate laws. If you're looking at pressures and volumes, maybe it's ideal gas law. Even if the equation is not actually written in the passage, the MCAT still expects you to be able to recognize the relationship. You can try using units as your clues. If the table shows joules and seconds, that's energy and time. It's likely related to power. If it shows liters and pressure, you're in ideal gas territory. Step 3, now you're gonna look for patterns instead of doing calculation. MCAT doesn't want you to brute force calculate every number. Instead, it's about recognizing patterns. If doubling X doubles Y, it's a direct relationship. If doubling X cuts Y in half, it's an inverse relationship. If doubling X makes Y quadruple, second order relationship. These shortcuts save huge amounts of time and they really help you see the big picture. Pro tip, when you spot the pattern, jot a quick note in your scratch paper, like rate of second order. That way you kind of already know what's going on. That takes us to step 4. You're gonna pre-process before the questions. Another mistake is jumping straight to the questions before even looking at any tables. That forces you to go back and reread the table every time. Instead, take 30 seconds up front to summarize what the table is actually showing. You could try circling or underlining some of the key variables and write down the relationship. Note any obvious trends like a plateau or a cutoff point. That way, whenever you actually go to the questions, you don't need to keep going back. You've already done a lot of the heavy lifting, and you only have to do it once. Okay, so finally, this takes practice. You need to practice this skill actively. Use AAMC practice passages and focus specifically on tables and graphs. Every time, ask yourself, what are the variables? What is the likely equation? What pattern does the data show? And how can I summarize this in just one line? By repeating this process, you're going to train your brain to recognize relationships quickly, and those big intimidating tables are going to turn into easy points. Remember, the MCAT isn't testing if you can calculate. It's testing if you can reason. Linking data tables to equations is about seeing patterns, spotting relationships, and applying what you know strategically. If you found this breakdown helpful, check out some of our other videos on the channel, and don't forget to hit subscribe so that you can see the next videos that are coming out.